The Bureau of Meteorology has declared a third La Nina is underway, pointing to another summer of heavy rains on the east coast. The Bureau on Tuesday announced the weather event was impacting the tropical Pacific, with a third straight spring and summer of above-average rainfall likely to smash eastern Australia. Cruise ship off Queensland stuck in massive swell. La Nina is part of the El Nino-Southern Oscillation, ENSO, cycle, a naturally occurring shift in ocean temperatures and weather patterns along the equator in the Pacific Ocean. The phenomenon has only occurred in 3 back-to-back years since 1990. So, what does it mean for your summer plans? La Niña typically means more rainfall, cooler daytime temperatures south of the tropics and warmer overnight temperatures in the north. The weather event can also bring shifts in temperature extremes, decreased frost risk, increased tropical cyclone numbers and earlier monsoon onset. BOM head of long-range forecasts Dr. Andrew Watkins said the 3-month climate outlook shows a high chance of above-average rainfall for most of the eastern half of the Australian mainland and eastern Tasmania. However, modelling suggests the event will only be weak to moderate in strength and could peak in spring and east during summer, meaning some sunshine could be on the cards. La Niña is not the only driver influencing this wet outlook, Watkins said. To our west, a significant negative Indian Ocean Dipole (IOD) event is underway. We expect the IOD influence will reduce in late spring or early summer. The Southern Annular Mode (SAM) is also in a positive phase, and likely to remain positive into summer. Positive SAM during summer pushes weather systems south, which increases the chance of rain in New South Wales, eastern Victoria and southern parts of Queensland. Flooding fears with catchments already soaked from heavy rainfall, the flood risk remains for much of Australia. It means the risk of a lot of further heavy rain onto catchments that are already very saturated, where people have endured a number of extreme rainfall events and, in some areas, very severe flooding over recent months, Climate Council Director of Research Simon Bradshaw told 7 News. Com.au earlier. Communities are being warned to prepare for another busy flood season, after the NSW State Emergency Service recorded its busiest 12-month period on record between July 1, 2021 and June 30, 2022. There is already wet soil, high rivers and full dams right across our state, and with more rain on the horizon comes the very real possibility of flooding, NSWSES Commissioner Carleen York said. If you live in a flood-prone area, I urge you to take steps to prepare now. Make sure you know your risk, and have an up-to-date emergency plan and emergency kit. Preparing early will save you vital time during an emergency. Feeling the heat. This extreme weather is all happening in the context of climate change, Bradshaw explained, adding that it is as if the climate is on steroids. Global warming means there is more moisture, more energy in the atmosphere. It means we are seeing increases in extremes at both ends, he said. We're looking at the prospects of prolonged dry periods, but then also a lot of rainfall coming in these very intense downpours that we've been seeing. An increase in extreme heat events is also likely, which Bradshaw warned can be one of the most dangerous hazards for Australians. The heavy rainfall lashing Australia in recent months has boosted an enormous amount of vegetation growth, which could cause a problem come summertime. When we inevitably get to another dry spell and that starts to dry out, we'll see enormous amounts of dry fuel on the landscape, which then raises the risk of a very severe fire season, Bradshaw explained.